It's completely quiet and completely dark. That's because now I came to the forest at night. It is the same place as always, but I can feel it completely different at night. I want to check what we can see and what we can hear now at this hour here in the forest. At night, the forest seems like a different place. It looks different and we get to know it differently when we stop relying on our eyes and we focus more on the sounds and smells around us. At night, however, the forest is teeming with life. Red deer and roe deer, which are no longer so threatened by hunters, use the time to feed more calmly. After a dozen minutes of walking, I was able to hear clear sounds of animals passing nearby. There are noises on the left. We will crouch down a little to not draw attention to ourselves. I am now in a place that I pass often when I go in the morning to observe the animals here in these parts of the forest. Every time I come back this path, every time I see fresh deer tracks on this path. Deer that walk from that part of the forest to that part. I think that what we are hearing now could be these deer. I hope we won't attract their attention and maybe we will see some of them. This time the animals passed me by and didn't come close enough to me to see them. It was enough to spend the next several minutes in the forest to hear the familiar sounds again. I hear there's something right in front of me here in the forest. But that's... the kind of noise we can expect most often. I think that there's a deer, at least one. I can't see him, but I can hear him. This is the charm of walking in the forest at night. Our other senses, not only our eyesight, are heightened and we rely on them. I will not go deeper into the forest. I will still go along the path. See if the deer will go somewhere else to avoid encounter with me. There is more than one. More than one. They go out into the open space right now. I won't see them. I'll turn on my flashlight to see who's that. As I thought, 2 deer had just jumped over the road right in front of me. They ran straight into this forest, into this wall of trees. Oh, you don't see it. Beautiful encounter. Unfortunately for the camera, the flashlight was not strong enough to make the does clearly visible. The flashlight is important because it can help you see not only the entire silhouette of the animal in the forest, but also its eyes, from which light is reflected. Some people can recognize who we are dealing with basing just on this feature, but unfortunately I cannot recognize the species by the appearance and color of the light reflected from the animal's eyes. After a while, I heard an even more characteristic sound. I can hear the voice of the tawny owl quite well in front of me. It's a male. The male is calling the females. Females have a more squeaky voice. I am very happy because of this meeting. Owls are such symbols of the night. I'll try to get closer, maybe I can hear him better. The voice of the tawny owl is well known, and it's not surprising because it is the most common species of owl in our country. It is a typical nocturnal predator, equipped by nature with many adaptations to such a lifestyle. Unfortunately, his voice was too quiet to be on the recording. There is a small puddle nearby which is eagerly used by wild boars. Animals are active both during the day and night, and are easier to find at night because of the sounds they make. They are very family animals that stay together in a group, which makes them easier to hear. Elsewhere, another group of wild boars found carrion in the forest. The dead animal has been lying in the bushes for days, but the animals can still eat it. Full boar is a happier boar and sometimes wants something more than just a dinner. The carrion attracts many hungry animals. This time there were also raccoon dogs. They are omnivorous animals that are active at night, so they will gladly take part in such a feast. Although the forest seems empty and motionless at night, animals belonging to different groups are active in it. Under the cover of darkness, badgers come out from their burrows and a rich social life takes place next to their entrances. Badgers are active mainly at night and usually hide in their burrows before dawn. However, in the dark, not only these large animals are active, but also small ones. And even very small ones. All you have to do is stop and listen to how many rustles you can hear in the litter, which is constantly used by crowds of invertebrates. I'm slowly approaching the lake. The night is also eagerly used by amphibians, so I'm not surprised because of the next meeting. Especially because the group of green frogs is strongly linked with the aquatic environment practically throughout their whole life. At the lake, the number of calling animals has increased significantly. I got to a lake that I had been walking to for some time. Even from a bigger distance, I could hear the characteristic voice of Savi's warbler, the incessant, continuous rattle we can hear right now at the moment. Moreover, the frogs are talking, a whole chorus of frogs. At night, the forest is still alive, especially such places, such wetlands. And apart from the Savi's warbler and frogs, I also hear the voice of the reed warbler. Amazing how much is happening here in the forest at night. We underestimate it during the day. Frogs and birds are very active here. Some species speak both during the day and night, but there are also those that have limited their activity only to night hours. This may be related to their adaptation to the nocturnal life, or to the fact that at night they have bigger chances to be heard. During the day, in the company of dozens of other individuals, the voice of some males could be underestimated by females. Such a concert is a perfect end of a night trip to the forest.